Today we're taking a look at romance fraud and router vulnerabilities. Welcome to the Hut6 Infosec Roundup. Hello and welcome, my name is Alex James and this is the Hut6 Infosec Roundup, where we take a look at some of the most pressing matters, latest trends and industry news from across the world of information security. First up this week, Ransomware Task Force urges action. An international coalition of law enforcement entities and technology companies are calling for aggressive and urgent action against the growing problem of ransomware, insisting that there is more than just money at stake and that ransomware has become a serious national security threat and public health and safety concern. The Ransomware Task Force has issued nearly 50 recommendations to governments to help tackle ransomware attacks, including entities such as the UK's National Cyber Security Centre, Microsoft, the FBI and Amazon. Amongst other suggestions, the RTF recommends that governments make it mandatory for victims to report if criminals are paid a ransom, additionally asking for increased regulation for cryptocurrency services, with the NCSC reporting that it has handled more than 3 times as many security incidents in 2020 relative to the preceding year, and an estimated global annual cost of somewhere between $42 and $170 billion, it is clear that ransomware is a problem on the rise. Speaking to the ransomware issue, RTF co-chair Jen Ellis stated, quote, "Citizens are being impacted by this every day. It's having a huge effect on the economy and the ability for ordinary people to access critical services," adding, "The funds that come in from paid ransomwares fund other forms of organised crime like human trafficking and child exploitation." Romance fraud costs victim £113,000. Rachel Elwell of the West Midlands is currently facing bankruptcy after losing almost $113,000 to a romance fraud scammer she met on a dating website. Having claimed that he lived near the victim, but that he was abroad for an engineering contract in Ukraine, the scammer successfully convinced Miss Elwell that he had been taken captive by a loan shark and that his life was in danger. Supporting his claims with forged documents and staged photographs, the victim first sent the scammer £250, though eventually ended up losing just under £113,000, money which is unlikely to be recovered. Interviewed by the BBC, when asked why she had sent the funds, Miss Elwell explained, quote, "When he said his life was in danger and I didn't hear from him, I thought he'd been murdered. Can you imagine feeling you're responsible for whether someone lives or dies?" Attempting to confirm the man's story, Miss Elwell only realised her mistake after visiting the scammer's supposed address in Coventry, discovering that nobody of that name lived there. As an increased form of fraud, a spokesperson from the West Midlands Police stated, quote, "Rachel's case is a prime example of romance fraud. Her case highlights how much these scammers affect people's lives." Routers at risk. A report by consumer watchdog Which has warned that millions of people could be at risk due to outdated routers. Having examined 13 models provided by internet service providers, including EE, Virgin Media and Sky, the organisation discovered flaws in more than 2/3 of the devices. Estimating that around 6 million households could be using a device that has not been updated since 2018 or earlier, issues discovered include weak default passwords, a lack of firmware updates, and local network vulnerabilities. In response to the report, several ISPs have hit back, including Virgin, who stated that they do not recognise or accept the findings of the research. With proposed UK legislation banning the use of default passwords being present on devices, computing editor for Which, Kate Bevan, stated that updates to the law, quote, "cannot come soon enough," adding, "Internet service providers should be much clearer about how many customers are using outdated routers and encourage people to update devices that pose security risks. That's all we have for this week. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe and share. And if you're interested in finding out more about security awareness training, please head over to the Hut6 website for your free demo.